All right, I don't know what time it is on your clock, but I know what I'm getting ready for. It is time for the Professional CISO podcast with David Malicoat.
Welcome, one and all, to the Professional CISO podcast. I'm your host, David Malicoat. All right, gang, today we have an interview with a security leader in the technology services space. Our guest is Jessica Nemmers, currently Field CISO at Flare Data Systems.
Yes.
You've held positions at Elevate, Commercial Metals Company, and Pro Systems/Dell Services. Please welcome Jessica Nemmers.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
Awesome. Okay, first, I know a lot of the story, but obviously our audience doesn't.
Yes. I've known him when he had hair, and we always say like 1990-something BC, which was before children.
Actually, it was during children.
During children,
that's a different
before
story
my
altogether.
children, but yeah.
I started early.
So I was trained really since the age of 6, but really in earnest since about 12 to be a professional ballerina, which I was. I got to enjoy a 6-year professional career. It actually started my senior year of high school. And company ended up going bankrupt unexpectedly, Ballet Dallas. And so I ended up at EDS working on an arts project. So it was EDS and Hitachi brought 100 days of Japanese art and culture to Dallas. So I was the chief operating officer's assistant. This was by happenstance that I ended up there. After that project was over, a friend of mine said, "You've got to go interview over at Pro Systems. They're hiring anybody. They're trying to double their workforce." So I went over, they interviewed me, and they said, "You want to start in recruiting?" I said, "Sure." So started in recruiting at a technology company, still really didn't know what I was doing. And that's really just you worked at Pro Systems too. I ended up running a global training organization, but also working partially with business development and as the docent in the data center. And I fell in love with the data center. So that was really my first walk into cybersecurity. Went on to Commercial Metals, still ran global training team over there. But then really after 20 years of being in infrastructure, being in IT training, I really was so interested in cybersecurity. So I started a security awareness program, and that's really how I stepped into ultimately the role that I'm in today.
So do you believe in that idea that we must professionalize the role of the CISO? If so, what does it mean to you? I think that's where the variability comes in. Or if not, why?
Yes, especially from my experience in the last almost decade in the CISO role, it is a business leader. So as a professional, it's no longer a technical job. And as I tell a lot of my customers, when you get hit with a cyber attack or a data breach, it is a company problem. It is not an IT problem. It's not a technology problem. So I think looking at this role as a professional, and there are certain skills when we talk professionals like CIO, CFO, CMO, the C-suite, you're in the C-suite. So I think there are business skills that are needed now to be an effective CISO.
If you have some folks out there right now, whether outside looking in or just got inside, maybe feel like they're struggling a little bit of fish out of water, what are some actionable pieces of advice that you've learned over the course of your career that you could help these folks with? Be like, look, it may look bleak at times, but here's some words that you may be able that may help you.
Yes. There are opportunities. So I always advise someone, look at the job that you want. Because cybersecurity is like being a doctor. So do you want to be a podiatrist? Do you want to be ear, nose, and throat? So there are disciplines within cybersecurity. Understand them, learn about them, align your passion and your capabilities to one of them. You don't have to be everything.
That's been great takeaways for folks, so I truly appreciate that.
Well, thank you.
And finally, colleagues and friends, I renew the call. We must professionalize the role of the CISO. In the meantime, I wish you health, happiness, and success on your journey in becoming the professional CISO. Let's do this.
We're professionalizing the CISO role, so please subscribe to the Professional CISO podcast.